Alexander the Great conquered nations but couldn't conquer death. With all the world's wealth and healers at his feet, nothing could save him. And in his final moments, he left behind 3 haunting requests. But what do these wishes reveal about life, death, and what truly matters? If you've ever felt lost chasing success, stressed over money, or empty despite achieving your goals, this message will wake you up. Even the greatest conqueror in history, Alexander the Great, couldn't escape death. As he lay on his deathbed, surrounded by the world's best physicians and unimaginable treasures, gold, diamonds, and rubies, not a single remedy could save him. At that moment, Alexander made 3 final requests. Let the world's top doctors carry his coffin. Scatter precious jewels on the path to his grave. Let his hands dangle outside the coffin, visibly empty. These weren't acts of drama but profound symbols. He explained. Doctors carrying the coffin, so people would realize even the most skilled can't stop death. Path paved with gems, to show that no matter the riches, none can follow us to the grave. Empty hands, to reveal the ultimate truth: we come into this world empty-handed and leave the same way. And that, my friend, is where this story begins. We live in a world obsessed with chasing wealth, money, success, material gains. But have you noticed something strange? The more you chase these things with desperation, the more they run away from you. It's not superstition, it's a divine reality. I call it the law of repulsion. The more importance you attach to the dunya, the material world, the more it pushes back. Why? Because you're giving your energy to something created instead of the creator. You're putting your trust in what is temporary rather than what is eternal. Imagine your life as a tiny dot inside a massive circle. That dot is this worldly life. The circle around it? That's the afterlife. But most of us live our entire lives focused only on that tiny dot: our bills, our stress, our possessions. And we completely forget the vast, infinite reality that surrounds it. This isn't just philosophy, it's truth. We are spiritual beings temporarily in physical bodies. Our true home is the hereafter. Yet we panic over the dot and ignore the eternity beyond. The devil doesn't come with horns. He comes with whispers. One of his greatest tools: fear of poverty. He convinces you that you're not enough, that you'll never have enough, that you're always in lack. So you stay distracted, anxious, and away from your real purpose. But here's the truth. Poverty is not a divine state, it's a false condition. It is never once listed among Allah's names. Allah is Al-Ghani, the rich, the self-sufficient. Your provision, your risk, is written in the heavens, not here on earth. If you're searching for it in materialism alone, you'll never find it. Think about this. Have you ever wanted something so badly but only received it once you let go? That's not coincidence. That's divine wisdom. The moment you detach, you become receptive. Those who are desperate for wealth, control, or validation rarely find peace. But those who surrender, who focus on sincerity over seriousness, who let the dunya be what it is, are the ones to whom abundance flows. In Islam, we're told, the dunya is nothing more than a deceptive enjoyment, a distraction. Be sincere, but don't take it too seriously. You've probably heard motivational speakers say, set big goals. 10x your targets. But what if I told you there's a goal higher than any worldly ambition? That goal is the afterlife. It's the highest aim you can have. And when you place it at the forefront of your mind, everything else starts falling into place. You start waking up with purpose. You take action with clarity. You move not with fear, but with conviction. Why? Because your energy is no longer scattered chasing small goals, it's aligned toward an eternal outcome. People often confuse detachment with laziness. But that's not what we're talking about here. Detachment isn't inaction. It's action without obsession. You still work. You still strive. You still give your best, but your heart isn't tied to the outcome. So whether money comes or goes, whether you're praised or criticized, you remain steady. Because your source of value is no longer people, profit, or possessions. It's the one who never changes. The one who never leaves. Don't believe in resurrection? Just look at nature. A barren land turns green. A dead seed becomes a tree. Every season of life proves that resurrection is real. Death is not the end, it's a transition. Just as a baby in the womb can't comprehend the outside world, we too live in a womb called Earth. And one day, we'll be born into the next life. When you die, you're not buried, you're planted. And what grows next is eternal. Here's the hard truth. Everyone worships something. Even if you claim to be atheist or secular, you still have a God. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's your social image. Whatever occupies your thoughts, whatever you panic over losing, whatever you place your energy into, that's your object of worship. Islam calls us to something higher. To submit to the one worthy of our submission. Not to fear, not to desire, not to fleeting things, but to the eternal. And when that happens, everything changes. Our bodies come from the earth. That's why they return to it. But our souls, they come from a higher realm. And that's why you'll never feel truly fulfilled chasing earthly pleasures alone. You can feed the body all it wants, luxury, fame, validation, and still feel empty, because the soul is hungry. And only the remembrance of its source can nourish it. You may think wealth is about numbers in a bank account. But true wealth is a state of the soul. When the Prophet described richness, he said it's not about having many possessions, but about being content. If you tie your happiness to numbers, you'll rise and fall with them. But if your joy is rooted in the eternal, you're unshakable. That's why wealthy people who detach often thrive, while poor people obsessed with money feel constant pain. It's not the amount, it's the attachment. Want to change your life? Change your intention. Shift your focus from chasing the Dunya to living for the Akhirah. That simple shift will rewire your actions, your emotions, your discipline. You'll stop indulging in harmful habits. You'll start making bold moves. You'll feel unlimited energy because you're no longer living for crumbs. You're living for the feast prepared by your Creator. Why do you think the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet peace be upon him, built an empire of light? Why do you think Islam's golden age was so prosperous, so brilliant? It wasn't just knowledge or strategy. It was their mindset. They lived with the Akhirah in view. They worked hard, but their hearts were always attached to Allah. That's the secret. That's what we lost. But we can return to it today. So here's the truth. You're not here to be trapped in fear. You're not here to be defined by a paycheck. You're here to awaken, to remember, to rise. And once you do that, once you live for something eternal, nothing in this world can shake you again. If this message touched your heart, don't just listen, live it. Like the video, share with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe for more deep, life-changing reminders. And above all, put your focus back where it belongs. Not on the dot, but on the circle. Not on the created, but on the Creator. Because the real shift? It starts within.